Welcome to the Perfect Dispute Letter Creator Workshop. This is for beginners. This is not for advanced users. So if you already know exactly what and to whom to say it, then this is not for you. But if you are stuck and you don't know how to write the best dispute letters to get maximum results, then this workshop is for you. All right. We're going to go over the checklist, exactly how to break down your accounts. And you can actually go down into the description, pause this video right now, go pull this up and do this with me, but using your own information from your own credit report. All right. So first we're going to go over the dispute reason creator. All right. Now remember, it is not the dispute letter, the text at the top of your letter that removes the account. It is the actual dispute reason. And that's why it's imperative that you break this down the right way. All right. So we're going to go and look at our example account. So this is how you know what information needs to come off your credit report. We have our creditor name, that is capital 1 517805. The part of the account we're disputing is date of last activity, so that's the element. And the reason it is inaccurate is because Experian reports this date, Equifax reports that date, and TransUnion reports that date. And obviously I want this account removed, so we're going to assume that this is a charge-off or let's just say it's a charge-off, all right? So now when we put this all together, this is how you know exactly how to do this using the Agero formula, all right? So we have capital 1 517805, delete, that's the outcome I want, this account for inaccuracy because is the justifier, the date of last activity, that is the element, shows 3 entirely different dates and 3 different years. That's the reason, right? Now, Experian reports date, Equifax date, and TransUnion date. So here are my facts, okay? I'm not just telling them what I want them to do. I'm giving them exact reason why using the information off the credit report. Now, this is where it is your turn. Take the creditor name and the account number. So let's say that I'm writing another one. We're going to do discover. Account number is 6011, let's just say 00. Which part of the account are you disputing? I am going to say that it is the date last reported. Why is this inaccurate? Well, to break this down for you, the reason why it is inaccurate is because I have already disputed it. It was already disputed and you said that it was verified. However, you did not change the date last reported to be the date that you verified this account. And therefore, you did not investigate it and the account needs to be removed, okay? So what outcome are you seeking? I want a deletion. And now we're going to put it all together. All right, so we have discover 601100, delete for inaccuracy. And I am writing on my screen, so I apologize for some bad penmanship here. Delete for inaccuracy because you need to have this justifier. You verified as accurate. I think part of my tablet that I'm writing on has some sort of error. All right, you verified as accurate, but didn't change the date last reported. The date last reported. That is our entire dispute reason, okay? So now let's go break down your letter, all right? So essential dispute checklist for maximum results. So you need to have your name, your address, your date of birth, and your social. Okay, so to understand what goes into our opening paragraph, we're going to scroll down and look at the checklist, all right? So for personal information, we need to make sure, as I mentioned, full name, date of birth, full address, social security number. And we're going to say, yes, I included all of that. Now for your opening paragraph, we need to have what is the reason you're sending this letter? Have you indicated urgency? I'm applying for a new job, so on and so forth. Ask for a new credit report reflecting the changes to this round. How did you locate these inaccuracies? I recently pulled my report, so on and so forth. Ask for an investigation on each round and What are you challenging? Proof, violations, independent investigation, lack of investigation, so on and so forth. So now let's go and write out our paragraph. All right, so we're going to go back up here. And we're going to say something along the lines of, I recently pulled my credit report on identity IQ. And instead of IDIQ, it would say identity IQ. And saw some inaccuracies that need to be, let's just say, let's say corrected, but we're going to ask for deletions, all right? Please investigate and send me a new credit report reflecting these changes. Real simple, straight to the point. Now, you do not have to include everything that I mentioned in the checklist. This is just so that you know how to write this, what you should be asking for, and a couple of different ways that you can do this in case you are learning to do this for other people. All right. So let's go down and just make sure that we have what we need. How did you locate? Identity IQ. Ask for a new credit report. I did. Um, ask for an investigation. I did. You don't really need to put urgency on here. If it is your first round, if it's a second, third, fourth, so on and so forth, you might want to. And what are you challenging? Proof, violations, independent investigation, lack thereof. Now, I'm going to give you an example here. So for this would be like, I don't believe you did an investigation and would like proof of your independent investigation. You see what I'm saying? So we already have this. Let's go and we'll check this off. Come back up here and we're going to say, let's add this. I'm applying for, and this is definitely not my normal penmanship, so I apologize again. I am writing on my screen for a new position. And these inaccuracies are really hurting me. Okay, so now we have our opening paragraph. We also have our personal information. And then now on the account section, we've already gone over this, but just so you know exactly what to include here. Remember I said the Agero formula? We have the creditor name. We also have the account number. Let's go add those in. So remember we did Discover. Let's try Amex this time. So we have American Express as the creditor name. The account number is 3499924. Okay. We're going to put a hyphen. Now it's also telling us that we need the reason for removal, the justifier, because, the facts from the credit report, the outcome requested, deletion, and challenges, if any, like failure to furnish, did not correct, did not remove, so on and so forth. So let's add them in one by one. We're going to say delete this account for inaccuracy. All right, we got that part. Now let's go add in the justifier. Because reason for removal or correction. The balance is listed as $500, even though I've paid it. I also see two different balances. Experience shows 500 and TransUnion shows 452.50. And now we already have our facts on here. And let's just say that they didn't correct it, whatever. We can also add in this part where challenges. There's two different balances. You didn't correct it. You said it was verified. The date last reported didn't change. The notice of dispute is missing, so on and so forth. That is this part right here. Okay, so let's go make sure that our entire thing is complete. We have delete. So that's the outcome. This account for inaccuracy because the balance is listed as $500. That is the element. We have our reason and we have our facts. Okay, so now our account section is complete. And then you're just going to close it. So let's say this part is correct. So now we're going to put it all together. However, this part is simply an easier way to look at this if you're having issues writing out your disputes. Okay, so what is the reason you're writing your letter to the bureaus? Inaccuracy, right? When in reality it's just that we want them to delete the charge off, but that's just between me and you, or you and you, okay? So the reason that you're writing the letter to the bureaus is because you have inaccuracies. You want them to remove those inaccuracies and you want a new report. So this is a good place to put your notes so that you're able to then go up here and create your, excuse me, this part right here and create your letter, okay? So now we're going to choose a dispute reason, and these are just examples. So general, you can have unknown, and this is like for, like collections, third party, so on and so forth. A general, not mine, I don't recommend that. Identity theft, I don't recommend that. And then violations, like a violation of section 623 for failure and failure to enter the creditor name or the collector name or an address. Now, the difference between general and factual is that for factual, you're taking the information from the credit report. Remember, we had 3 different dates. So you would write out those 3 different dates. For the date last paid, you have 2 different dates or 2 different years or 2 different months. Balance, you would write out the different amounts, right? And then double jeopardy, that would be another factual reason. So you want to come up with your actual reason. What is your reason? And then write a sentence that describes why this is inaccurate. So we can say that let's use double jeopardy just because it's more of an advanced one. So write a sentence that describes why this is inaccurate. So you can say that the original creditor is still reporting a balance, but it was also sold to a collector, and the collector is also reporting a balance. This is double jeopardy because only the owner or the holder of the account should be reporting a balance, okay? So I hope this explains how to write the best, most perfect dispute letter, how to come up with your dispute reasons, and really breaks down and explains how you're going to get those results. All right. So if you have questions about this, post it down in the comment section. I will respond to it. If you would like me to do this for you instead, use the link at the top of your screen. It is very simply my740.com. But that is it. Go grab this link. I'm actually going to post the link right now down in the description so that you can go and do this and check it out yourself. I actually use this tool, Think.io, in my seminars and a lot of my teaching so that I can actually correct someone's letters or, whatever it is that we're working on. So this is pretty cool. All right. So anyways, I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope this made it easier for you. And that's it. Have a great one.